Hello everyone, my name is Harperwell, and welcome to This Month in Christory. This series is meant to archive every This Day in Christory entry from the Quickie in video form. Every entry will be displayed as I read them, so if you want to learn more, I recommend checking out the links below. This series is meant for people who already understand who Christian is and everything they've done. This is just meant to bring up everything that's happened to Christian throughout the year. I will mention it's not every event, just major events. So without further ado, let's get into November. November 1st. In 2009, Chris used the 9/11 terrorist attacks to insult Clyde Cash. It didn't really go over well. On November 2nd, in 2007, Chris stumbles upon his page on Encyclopedia Dramatica for the very first time while doing a search for himself in Google. His life is never the same. On November 3rd, in 2007, a young boy named Evan sent Chris a few pieces of fan art via email, eagerly awaiting a reply. On November 4th, in 2007, Evan got a reply from Chris to the pieces of fan art that he had sent. Chris's demand for Rose True masturbating and squirting baffled the internet. In 2011, Chris posted some pictures of Michael Snyder and the gameplays on the Quickie. On November 5th, in 2004, Chris receives a psychiatric evaluation. On November 6th, in 2009, Chris apologizes to Casey about how he behaved towards her father, and he declares his love to her. On November 7th, in 2007, Chris uploads his first public video, a predecessor to the Captain's Log series, addressing the Encyclopedia Dramatica contributors whom he believes have simply misunderstood him and his electric hedgehog Pokemon. In 2011, Chris was brought to court to answer several charges against him. None of them were dropped. On November 8th, in 2009, Liquid Chris leaks the famous Sonichu Special 4 comic in which Solid Chris is depicted shooting at unarmed Liquid twice. In 2016, Donald Trump is elected President of the United States, much to Chris's dismay. On November 9th, in 2007, Barbara Chandler goes to the game place and questions the manager about the picture that was taken there of Chris. On November 10th, in 2007, a picture of Goatsy is added to the Encyclopedia Dramatica page, and Christian finally breaks down and creates the Reldnak account to remove it. He then begins rewriting the article in a more favorable light towards him. On November 11th, in 2007, Chris protested to the depiction of pickles by uploading several images to his Encyclopedia Dramatica page, including the famous SheCameForQuick.jpg that determined the fate of Chris's friendship with Megan. In 2009, Casey DeVoria and the real Christian Weston Chandler are married. Also on this day, Ian tries to spoil the honeymoon by receiving copyrights of Sonichu. On November 12th, in 2003, Chris begins keeping his apparently short-lived Animal Crossing diary. In 2007, Chris adds even more information to his Encyclopedia Dramatica page about Megan and Officer Nasty. In 2009, Chris uploaded a video showing his copyright registration of Sonichu. On November 13th, in 1996, Bionic the Hedgehog is created at exactly 2:31:29 p.m. In the comics, Chris and his band of furries travel back to this moment to investigate the scattering of the Sonichu balls through time and space. On November 14th, in 2008, Chris shows us that he has managed to create a Sackboy that looks remotely like Sonichu. On November 15th, in 2007, Chris attempts to hack into the Encyclopedia Dramatica using HTML after being banned for deleting and changing information about him on his ED page. On November 16th, in 2010, Chris emails Jackie and expresses suspicion about the Troll Busters, an organization Jackie discovered on the web. On November 17th, in 2001, Chris created the Mystery to Solve Pokemon trainer card and added it to the wall of originals. On November 18th, in 2007, Chris told Anna about his new gal pal, Lori Lopez. In 2018, Chris announces the start of the Dimensional Merge. On November 19th, in 2009, Part 1 of the motion storyboard for Episode 20 was uploaded. On November 20th, in 2009, Chris talked about Reldnak Natsu Natsurk on the Quick blog. On November 21st, in 2009, Christian answered some of the letters in Mailbag 2. On November 22nd, in 2003, Chris films his hour-long Animal Crossing documentary, showing us how well he uses both his time and monthly tugboat. On November 23rd, In 2007, Chris goes out and buys a 160GB hard drive for his PS3, greatly increasing its disk space. On November 24th, in 2004, Chris picks up his Crayola fucking magic markers and work begins on the legendary Sonichu Issue 0 comic. On November 25th, in 2008, Panda Halo received some lecherous messages from Chris. She would post these on Sonichu the following day. On November 26th, in 2008, Chris's PS3 history level is given credit on the Little Big Planet site, gladdening Chris, but enraging many of the game's fanboys. On November 27th, in 2009, Chris answered or deleted all the letters in Mailbag 3. On November 28th, in 2006, Chris films the video of his pathetic pixelated PS3 for Adult Swim's What Would You Do for a PS3 competition. On November 29th, in 2001, Chris created the Hooked on Sonichu Pokemon Trainer card and added it to the wall of originals. On November 30th, in 2009, Christian posted on the Quick blog about his love quest.